Hello everybody, this is Richard from the Terraform Homestead, and this week on the channel we are taking a 2012 Prius V and turning it into the ultimate off-road camper. Yes, we are building a micro camper on a budget out of a Prius, and we're going to be covering power, water, sleeping, everything that you may need to live out of a Prius. And then at the end of this video, stick around because I am taking a month-long trip in this car, and I'll give you a review of what I enjoyed about it, did not like about it, and all of that. So I want to start out with a few things that I have already done to this car. I've had this car for about a year now, and I live down a dirt road. It's 2 miles. It's potholy. So the first thing I did on this car was add a 1.5 inch lift on it from a company called Off-Road Prius. This was a kit. They got it installed for me. The second thing that I've done on this car was we went from 15-inch tires, so the standard road tires, to the 17-inch off-road tires. So again, I'm down a super rough 2-mile road, and this car handles it just fine. We've got as much clearance as a typical SUV does now, but with the smaller footprint and the better gas mileage. The additional thing that I did in this car already was build a platform and take these seats out. So this was a early part of the build. This is literally the platform from my truck camper whenever I was living out of that for a couple months, and just kind of cut it down, redid the levels, all that kind of stuff, and took the seats out. So to take the seats out of a car is really pretty easy. It was just a couple bolts here. To build this, just a piece of plywood with some threaded gas pipe and the little floor coupling kind of thing. So this was basically free for me, but even if you're building this from scratch, very inexpensive. This just gives a lot more space in here, and it's going to be a good foundation for the rest of this build. So I was actually supposed to leave on my trip yesterday, but due to some other life complications, not been able to leave yet. So finally getting back to this build. We have been working on a little side build. Our workshop door was these kind of old janky thrift store doors, and didn't really feel super secure with them. So I decided to build, on a whim, a new metal door, which I thought was going to take like a day, 2 days, and it took like a week and a half. But this is pretty well done, which is exciting. So this is a lot more secure than our previous door. And with that, we're able to get back to the build. So next step on this is I'm going to try and get our inverter installed, and hopefully have all the parts for that. Okay, so we got our inverter installed. This is a really pretty simple thing. So we just hooked up to our battery, positive, negative. I put in a 100 amp fuse here, and then we just hook it up to our little, this is a 500 watt inverter. It's open for 1,000. I've got like a graveyard of old electronics, and this is the only one in there that worked. The downside to this one is there's not like a extension on-off switch, so the only on-off switch is here. I don't really want to have to dive in here every time I want to use this thing. So what I think I'm going to do is mount our fuse accessible on the outside. All right, so here we go. We are all tucked away. Got the inverter, got some space around it so it can have a little bit of air. And then we have our fuse here, which is also going to act as our switch. So it's not running all the time. Now I just need to get a extension cord put in here. I have one that the mice chewed through that I need to repair. So you can see this is the cord that the mice chewed up and ate. So I'm just gonna butt splice these together and then put some heat shrink on it, and it'll be just fine. So here we go. This is our little electrical system. So I did find
There's a 12 volt outlet out here. This is only on when the car is on, but what I did here is I found this little battery box and just put in basically a splitter, so that way I can put USB lines, and then this will be good to hold like my headlamp, extra batteries, things like that. I try not to keep the car on overnight if I don't have to, but I figure those extra batteries will be good. And then we've got our 120 volt line. The next thing that I need to fix is, so our tire sensor light has been on for forever. I did just get new tires for the vehicle, and the shop said it was one of the sensors that was out. It was going to be like 200 bucks to fix. So we're going to go ahead and get that fixed. Electrical tape. Look there. No one will ever know. Okay, so we're on to the next step, and that is our rear cargo box. And I'm gonna get this thing put on and show you guys the issue with it that we have right now. As you can probably see, this extends way far out from the back of the car. The only hitch I could find was a 1 1/4 inch. The only cargo rack I could find was 2 inches. And so I had to get this adapter to come out, which honestly raised it up and made it kind of nice. But then we get hit right here on the car, so I can't slide this in anymore. So I think what I need to do is cut this about right here. Okay, there we go. It seems a lot more stable. I've got a little bolt thing to stick on. All right, it is another build day on this Prius. I have a feeling today is the day we'll get this done. I started pulling out some of my go boxes. I like to keep all my camping gear basically packed all the time in these little boxes, so that way I can just kind of pull everything out and go on a whim. With that, we're gonna start getting this loaded up and start getting our cooler mount. Since these coolers are nice, I don't feel comfortable just leaving it sitting on that back rack with like a ratchet strap or something. So we're gonna build some more secure mounts today. I saw a company that does something similar for Yeti coolers and expensive coolers. I think it was called Defy or Defiant or something like that. But essentially, it was just a piece of metal kind of hooked in a C shape that went into a mounting point on the cooler. They were asking about $180 for this little piece of metal. I think I can build one here with some of our scraps for about $2. So. Alrighty, so here we go. This is our DIY cooler lock. I assume this is what this is for, actually. So I just got some 1-inch steel bar, bent it up, and then through bolted it through our rack here, through the rack here, here. We've got hitch locks on everything, so everything is secured. So the rest of this will just get a bungee cable over the top of it, and then this guy is locked down. Fortunately, still able to access the drain plug here, but yeah, without some actual effort and some tools, you're not getting this thing off. All right, so I'm really excited for this next step. This is today's sponsor is Itel. So this is a portable, what's called reverse osmosis RO system that runs on batteries and can be taken out into the middle of nowhere and fill up potable water. So I'm planning on getting off the grid as much as possible on this next month-long trip. I also love camping by water, so this is going to extend the time that I can stay out significantly and not have to carry around just gallons and gallons and gallons of water. And they sent us this for free. We'll have a affiliate link in the description below. They're not paying for this review though, and so I'm gonna review it in the way that I see is best. Okay, so it is definitely a lot smaller than what I was expecting. The box is pretty big, so that's a big plus because This is going to fit really nicely beneath our sink in our studio, but also underneath the seat. We have our filters here, so it looks like we've got an RO filter and a hybrid filter. I'm not 100% sure what those mean, but I know I do use an RO system out here for our main potable water, so I assume it's kind of a similar process. Basically, you're just shooting the water through with a little bit of pressure in a super finely meshed screen. So here are all the accessories that come along with it. Ooh, you got a little backpack. That's kind of cute. Charging cable. They sent us a special charging box, like a little port thing, which will hook up to our hybrid battery in the Prius. And then it looks like just two systems. So I'm guessing RO goes in the RO one. Other one goes in the other one. This guy, there are directions for this. I just am a typical DIYer man and refuse to use them. There we go. You got to really push these guys in. There we go. To get a good seal on them. So cool. So we've got two hoses here. It looks like both of these, okay, one is going to be discharge and one is going to be drinking water. That's how my normal RO system works. So, there we go. Nice satisfying click there. This guy. So it looks like, yeah, that actually just screws in by hand pretty easily, so I can keep this disconnected for now. We'll put everything back into our little bag, and I don't want to run this without water going through it, so we're going to wait to test it out until we get out into the backcountry. I do appreciate companies that really think through the user end of their products, even with like little detail-y stuff like this, like just including the Velcro strap.
Hello everybody, and we are back at our shop. It has been a month on the road testing out, doing our first dry run of this Prius. You can see it definitely saw some mud, which very happy with the lift kit. Very glad I got off-road tires because we took it down some really rough roads. I just want to run you guys through what went well, what I would change, what, you know, was really positive, and what I probably spent some money on that I didn't need to spend some money on. We've got the car a little bit started cleaning up, but still have all the main system components and stuff in here. This platform has been amazing. I honestly feel like I had plenty of space in here. I'm 6'2", and the Prius V fit just perfectly. Would scoot this forward just a little bit. You can see not too much, not enough where someone couldn't sit up there, but have that pushed up a little bit. Did end up putting the boxes in the car, so this was a absolute nightmare. I think the actual hitch itself has bent, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the leverage that was put on it or what, but we're gonna probably come back in here and actually cut out part of the bumper and install a 2-inch hitch, because you can't buy 2-inch hitches for these cars. And so we're gonna weld up our own. I was able to put the cargo box, or the food box and kitchen, and the cooler in the car, and then have these bell tents outside. Did enjoy this little table that we found. It's probably not something I would purchase, but it was great to have for our little office. Having the Prius battery, being able to charge our laptop and just any kind of emergency things was so nice. Like, that was definitely my favorite thing on this trip. So we were able to hook up our laptop and I could just leave that running. The cool thing was with the inverter, a couple times forgot to turn it off while I turned the car off, and I was really worried about the car not turning back on. But
Did totally fine. Our bedding system here is just this like 4-inch mat. Plenty comfortable, much more than any kind of inflatable thing. Our kitchen box worked out great. It's a tote box, and I kind of split it in two on the inside. Food on one side, kitchen on the other, and then the cooler. It seems like the cooler didn't do so well this time. It is a Yeti cooler. I don't know if just it being out in the sun for years and years and years has made it less insulative. I definitely remember it being a little bit better than it was. Maybe it's because it's summer and it's hot, but yeah, I was having to get ice like every other day on this. And yeah, little trash can in the front. I always keep that in my car anyways. Definitely helpful. I had these baskets that I kind of kept in the front seat for like toiletries, cleaning stuff, day-to-day stuff, and then our little box down in the bottom for trinkets and stuff like that. Another huge thing that was a big plus was this gas tank, this extra 1 gallon. So that was a big deal. It saved me twice. I am really bad about like not refilling my gas, pushing it a little longer, and out here it could be like 60, 70, 80, 100 miles between gas stations. So I did have to use that twice. Our little fan here we didn't actually end up using at all. I do love these bungee nets. They're good to hook your keys onto, and then I have an SOS device. These lights, super cute at night. So next, I want to talk about the Itel RO system that we brought on the trip. Itel sent us this as a free product to try out, and not gonna lie, it was the accessory that I didn't know that I needed on this camping trip. So typically, whenever I'm camping, I use these green, just kind of plastic faucety tote sort of thing. They're great for camping and storing. I keep 2 of these, so about 6 gallons in my car at any given point in time. And this unit made it possible for me to fill up for free, which was amazing. It will pull basically, I think it's down to 0.1 microns, pull all the viruses, bacteria, giardia, all that kind of stuff out of pretty much any water, and pump out just super nice clean water. So my experience using this on the road, water tasted great, pulled from some somewhat sketchy sources, just to really put it to the test, and everything came out clean. I didn't get sick, anything like that. These guys are 11 liters, so a little less than 3 gallons. The Itel system says that it runs about 500 milliliters or half a liter per minute. So to fill this up, it took about 20 minutes. To fill 2 of them up, it took a good 40 minutes. The battery worked great during that time. I just had it on, let it run. I typically would set this up where I was camping, and so I didn't have any issues with the timing and stuff like that. I just set it, turned it on, walked away, cooked dinner, whatever, came back, my water's filled and clean and all of that. What I am super excited about this. So this was great to have on our month-long road trip. Battery-wise, it held up the entire month without having to recharge it. Even if I did have to recharge it, it's just a USB-C, and y'all saw the power system that we set up in the car. Could have plugged that in, no problem, anything like that. This thing has really come in handy actually to save the day a couple weeks ago. So long story short, while I was gone, my main tanks leaked, and I was out of water when I came back. So we do have a lot of auxiliary tanks that collect rainwater off of our roofs, and fortunately this saved the day because I was able to pull good quality drinking water out of those rainwater tanks during the week that it took for another water delivery to get to me. So super grateful for that. I think this could be a wonderful product if you are, say, in an RV, which I think is what it is mostly intended to be, and want to make sure that you're getting the best clean water. I know a lot of RV fill-up stations say they have potable water, but that is questionable at best, and this just really ensures that you are keeping yourself safe, your family safe, all of that, having good, clean drinking water. From an off-grid homesteader perspective, this was not something I thought about when we got this, but having a backup system for drinking water is critical. I mean, when I came back and our water tanks were drained, I was so upset and really stressed out because we weren't able to get another tank of water for a week. And so this system really saved the day. I was able to just hook it up directly to our IBC totes and
let it go, let it rip, had water for the week until we could get back on our main system. So I will link the products that I use and that I liked in the description below. If you guys want to check any of those out, you're certainly welcome to. But yeah, next steps on this car. I've got another trip coming up in a couple months, a much shorter one, but it'll be a good 2.0 test. So I think we are gonna redo that hitch, because even with doing like art markets and stuff like that, I feel like having that tail rack will be really valuable. The other thing I kind of want to do is rhino liner paint this car, because just make it totally ridiculous. And then I am going to look into a roof rack situation. Long-term goals, I want to start doing some more like art market kind of things with the ceramics, and being able to live in the car and transport enough stuff for a show be really, really valuable. That is going to wrap up this adventure. I am super happy with this Prius. Of all of the vehicles that I've lived in, a Honda Element, a Toyota 4Runner, tiny houses, just the pickup truck, this I think honestly is my favorite. From a gas mileage standpoint, and being able to run the heat and air conditioning through the night was great. I only used that once. Just ate a bug. I only used that once for a couple hours because we had one hot day where there wasn't any shade or anything, but it's nice to know that I have it. As you can see, it has gone through some mud and dirt and went off-road without any problems. So super happy with this vehicle. If you guys want to check out more off-grid living and sustainable living building stuff, I've got a couple videos queued up for you right now. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and thank you to our sponsor, the RO System, Intel. Thank you guys for watching, and go build something cool.